Everybody ready? Um, Needless to say, it's been an interesting season with all these different things that have occurred. Um, and feel really good about our guys today in terms of the effort that they gave. There's some areas, obviously, that we didn't do as well as maybe we need to, but the guys kept fighting, the guys stuck together. Um, and we made the plays in the last 8 minutes of the game that you need to make to win games. And so proud of our guys. Feel bad for Steve and Boston College. You know, they've had some tough goes and some tough games. And you know, if that shot goes in, everybody for us is excited and all that. And if it doesn't, then they get a big win. So it's just one of those things. It's the way the game goes. And I feel good about our execution in those last two plays. Everybody executed them perfectly, and you still got to make the shots that Marcus did for us. So, appreciate everybody coming out to the game. The crowd was into it. That was fantastic to see. It was loud, and we got those defensive stops when we needed them at the end, and I thought the crowd really helped us on that. So we got to move forward. Got a couple days off, get some bodies back, hopefully feeling better, recovered, and got 2 more home games next week. So we got some improvements to do, but obviously always better to do it after a big win.
Were you surprised when he called the timeout? Steve called the timeout? Seconds left.
You know, a lot of coaches just have different philosophies. Sometimes you call that to make sure your defense is set. Sometimes, you do it where, excuse me, where you got to, make the other team try to make a play right away. So, just different philosophies there.
Did you have the play call either way, or was that something you directed at that, right?
We drew that one up during the timeout simply because it was a play that we run, but we just changed up the spots. I wanted Marcus to get the ball. Usually we have Trey get the ball in that position as the point guard. So I just flipped him around, and Corey took it out, and luckily Corey ran the baseline so we could get Marcus the ball. And, Daniel set a great screen. Robert stretched the defense. Chris took his man with him, and Marcus made the shot. Very coachable today. He was very coachable. I told him to make it, and he did it.
In the second half, y'all shot 78% from 75% from 3-point range, and 82% from the free throw line. Have you ever had a team shoot that well in the second half before?
Coaching. All coaching there. No. You know what we did? We got great shots because we got the ball inside. We did a good job of getting the ball inside. And I was pleased with Robert Carter, obviously. I think everybody saw a big jump from last game to this game in terms of his movement, his comfort out there, all those different things. But our post guys had 15, 18, and 10. It's pretty good. And that's what kind of we expected to see, if you have all 3 of them. And they did a good job in terms of moving the ball and getting the ball out. Daniel's stats are a little skewed because he was guarding Anderson, who plays away from the basket and had to help so much on ball screen, so he didn't get the rebounds that he normally gets. But as I always talk about, Marcus got 3 defensive rebounds. Corey got 3 defensive rebounds. Q, who played exclusively at the 3 today, got 3 defensive rebounds. Our guards rebounded the ball, and that helps. That really helps. When you out-rebound, told the guys, you out-rebound a team 36-19. You shoot 74% from the free throw line, and you keep the turnovers down. The way we defend, we're going to have a chance to win games. And that's exactly what happened.
Brian, is it safe to say that the rebounding was something of a teaching point coming off the last game? You talked about your guards in particular trying to rebound better, and today they did.
Yeah, I'd like to think that had something to do with it, but we need to put a couple of those games back to back before I could say that the guys have, bought in. And it's important. Those guards our guards have to rebound. Plus, again, we were able to push the ball a lot more. We got some plays in the open court. We got it over the top. We got Marcus on some throw-aheads, and that's because when the guards rebound, it ignites your break even more. And so it's really important that those guys continue to do that.
It seems like Corey's getting closer probably being the kind of player you want.
Yeah, he did. The one bad play there at the end, kind of forced that play. But his assist to turnover ratios have been good. Knocked down a couple open shots. Rebounded the ball, defended extremely well. I still say you won't really see him until next year. Now, that's been accelerated a little bit because of the injuries and him playing more. And that's only going to help him down the road. But I expect a lot out of him in terms of never making a mental mistake. And sometimes that's unfair because I forget he's still only a freshman, But he's a guy you can coach, you can get on, you can show him film, you can coach him during the game, and he doesn't bat an eye. He wants that, which is good.
I mentioned a game like this, you must be just happy for your guys because of the work they put in and not always necessarily getting the results.
Ken, that's a great point. And that's, sometimes I always talk about you need some tangible evidence to what you're doing is actually going to pay off. And, we're going to play a lot of games that go in the last 8 minutes. And I always say sometimes you got to learn what loses games before you figure out how to win games. And we've had a share of that first part, and we need to continue to learn the second part, And I thought we did that today. We got some key stops when we needed. We'll be able to show them that a couple of the plays that I thought maybe we broke down on. It was about maybe that 10-minute mark. We had a wrong matchup, which led to 3 defensive coverages that they scored 9 points on, and in this league, that's going to cost you a game. And luckily, we were able to. I don't know what it was. I thought maybe we got 4 out of the last 5 possessions we got stops at. I think it was something like that, or 3 out of the last 4. Hanlon made that shot, and that was a tough shot. We defended that pretty well too. So I feel our guys sometimes you need one of these games to kind of break through, and let's hope this is it.
What is Trey's stats?
Day to day. He's able to do a little more without as much soreness. And the biggest thing is, if he's going to play, he's got to be able to play. He could go out there and play some minutes like he did against Virginia, and I think early he was okay against Virginia, but as the game went on, it stiffened up. So we just got to get to a point where that doesn't happen.
Was that a decision you made today?
Yeah, he didn't practice the last couple of days, so there was at no point did I think he was going to play today.
Brian, do you have an explanation for how down the stretch in this game the guys were so resilient? I mean, seriously, the last 8 minutes, the very last game was the game.
Yep, 6 minutes ago, tie game.
Right, and it was kind of the opposite.
Yep, the roof fell in. Yeah. They're 18 to 22-year-olds sometimes, if you could figure that out. I think sometimes that our guys were really good today just in terms of understanding when they made a mistake and what they needed to do different. But again, I think that the poise and calmness that Daniel and Cam showed, Cam made some big plays for us down the stretch. That helps. That obviously helps. And Marcus was the all-league player that I think he's going to become, and there's a lot on those guys' shoulders, or those young guys' shoulders, because all those perimeter guys, every single one, Marcus sophomore, Chris is a sophomore, Corey's a freshman, Q's a freshman. Be honest, I don't even know what Ronnie is, and he's a sophomore, maybe. Right? A sophomore, 3rd year in school, but only a sophomore as a player, So, young guys, and figuring that stuff out and staying positive. And I think the guys did that today.
When Hanlon hit that last the shot left with 3 seconds, what was the mood in the huddle? Were the guys honest that they could pull it out?
Yeah, when the timeout came and we kind of changed up the play, the guys were good. Marcus didn't bat an eye with him taking that last shot. We had a second option with Robert in the corner if they came up on him. The guys were good.
Was that more exciting than the Miami game winner?
That was a pretty big game. They were number 3 in the country at the time. But we have a lot of basketball left, and I think this is a game that should help us down the road.
All time out, you guys go in the huddle and coach tells you it's your play instead of Trey's. Kind of what was going through your mind.
I'm ready. I had a lot of confidence in myself. I didn't think twice about shooting it. Coach told me just relax. I was already relaxed going into the timeout, and I was focused.
Do you dream about that kind of shot growing up? I think a lot of us, Simmons, for example, I know, used to do this in the driveway, the 3, 2, 1, counting down the clock in his head and so forth.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot. Growing up, yeah, you're right. I did that millions of times, and tonight it was one of those moments. Last year I got one with a tip in at Miami, so 2 years in a row, it's I guess my dreams come true a little bit.
How much contact did you feel, I guess, with Lonnie Jackson on the foul on? Because it didn't seem to affect your shot at all. You were able to switch it.
Me just, holding my follow through, but he did slap my wrist, but I didn't expect him to call it because, points like that at the end of the game, it's not going to really, I'm not expecting the ref to call stuff like that. So he fouled me a little bit, but I didn't expect him to call it.
Daniel, were they sagging more on you in the second half, defensively? Or digging down? 'Cause I think you had 13 in the first half, 3 or 4 in the second.
Oh yeah, I got caught in the trap a couple times, but also made some good plays out of it. But saw they were coming and then was ready for it.
Do you like a game like this where a lot of times you get dragged out of the paint defensively? You're going out there with Anderson, and his coach said he plays away from the basket, or would you rather be closer to the basket defensively?
I like kind of just staying in the paint. But with him, he wasn't shooting too much outside. He had one little elbow jumper that I didn't get out on, but other than that, he's looking to attack and play in the post, I feel like. So he's capable of shooting it, but last 2 times we played him, he hasn't really done that.
Marcus, Coach was saying that the play is typically drawn up for Trey. Here's how many times have you done that in practice where they just working on that, where they run that for you?
I've done it multiple times. Me and Trey take turns doing it in practice against our practice squad. So, being that I practiced it, I felt a lot of confidence. I had a lot of confidence. I was relaxed. Just thought about practice when I was, in the game.
How you only done in practice?
Sometimes I miss it, sometimes I make it, but, this time I made it in the game, so I don't put my head down when I miss it. I just know next time I make the shot.
How much did the weather affect your routine in the last couple of days?
You said the weather?
How much did the storm affect your routine?
It really helped out because I got to relax more and no school, so that's a plus. We got to practice and focus on the game a little bit more, instead of the books. We had a lot of walkthroughs, a lot of work, not a lot of workouts, putting up shots, going over their plays. So, going into the game, we knew everything they like to do, especially handling. He was a big, key to their team. So we knew all the key concepts we had to do when playing them.
If you're a believer in karma, you guys had this game coming. You've had some games where things kind of fell apart down the stretch or didn't go very well. Today, a lot of things had to go well for you to win. You had to get stops. You got stops for the most part. And you executed on those last 2 offensive possessions. Do you feel like you guys literally had this coming? I mean,
I've been waiting on it. And, a lot of times it happens to us, like you were saying, and you just got to keep trying hard and wait for our turn, and tonight was that night.
You too, Marcus. Coach has asked you to do a lot more this year. With all the injuries, your role has been kind of stretched all over the place, even tonight. Has there been any frustration in that you haven't been able to settle into just playing the 3 like you did for the most part last year? And you've had some games, 1 for 13 a couple weeks ago, and so forth and so on.
The last 2 games I didn't play too good. But after the games, I don't put my head down. I just, the next day I go in and work out and put up shots and, watch film to see what I did wrong and, So I won't make the mistake again. And, sometimes I go 1 for 13 just because, my shot. Sometimes I shoot it and not hold my follow through. I just look at the things I didn't do right for me to make the shot. And I, go home, look at myself in the mirror and see what do I have to do to, make my team win and make sure everybody's playing good. And, the little things, I think that's what it's not really frustrating to me. It's just like I'm learning from it so I could become a better player. So I feel like since my role has been switched around a lot, I've been learning a lot of new things.
This is the best shooting performance that you guys have had in the second half against anybody in a long time. You guys normally put together some good first halves, but kind of what was going on that was allowing you guys to be so effective offensively in the second half?
Having poise, not rushing anything. Coach told us relax, get the ball in the post, because once you get the ball in the post, everything's open up for the guards. And being that we have great bigs, a lot of attention goes to the bigs. But sometimes they trap the bigs, and then sometimes they don't. And when they don't, that's when we score with our bigs. So they pick and choose. They pick what they want to do, but we were just relaxed and had a lot of poise.
Do you think the hot shooting percentage had anything to do with Carter coming back and giving, I guess, Daniel and Cam out a little more rest?
Because Rob's a good player, so I know he'll get a lot of attention, being that, he's coming back. He played better today. The first game was kind of rusty, but he's getting back into the groove. We can see it in practice. He's been practicing better. He's recovering really good. But like you said, with him coming back, it takes a lot of pressure off Daniel and Cam, giving them a blow, giving them subs. So that's a big key.
Marcus, you mentioned the tip in last year against Miami. I know you against Wink, I guess last year you had a chance to score at the end. If you actually had a game where you've taken like the last shot at the buzzer, that kind of like was tonight.
Have I ever have a game?
Yeah, or maybe when was the last time? I guess is maybe a better way to ask.
The last time, I think, Clemson.
Yeah.
The last time Coach drew up a play for me, and it didn't go as planned because I missed a shot or got a block. But Cam came up with the offensive rebound, and he just missed a layup. But that's the last time that he drew up a play, and I had to take the last second shot.
Daniel, give us a sense of what it was like in the locker room after the game.
It was exciting. I ran in there and got clapped for by the team to mess with me, I guess. But everybody was excited, and Coach didn't have much to say. He was proud of our effort. There were things we could have done better, but we played hard the whole game and stuck with it. So ended in our favor, and we gotta enjoy it and then get ready for the next game.
After they took that, it was 69-54, I think, and their next three possessions, you had a steal, and then you challenged Hamlin, then you got a block. I mean, it almost kind of seemed like you were kind of trying to take the game over. Is that what you're doing, or is it playing a little less simple, more simple?
That's what I do well, is play defense, and it's kind of hard to guard them. With guarding Anderson, I'm away from the basket a little bit, so those guards are good at rejecting ball screens, just driving hard and not having anybody there to help. So you could kind of see who was going to attack and who wasn't, and Rayhan had gone a couple times, and Hanlon's always looking to score because he's a great player. So you just got to know, and I just felt like I needed help on some of those.
Again, the sweep against them, take a little bit of the sting out of what happened last year. At the Greensboro, the way it kind of things went down.
I guess we kind of needed that last year for this year. And, the guards have done a great job on Hanlon because he was the one that really tore us up in the tournament. And, it made us more prepared and took them more seriously this year.